Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay connected with all Keek on the Mic news. So, Bears fans, the third and final day of Chicago Bears mandatory minicamp has concluded, which means the team will not return until late July for the start of training camp. So let's go ahead and break down the final day of the Chicago Bears mandatory minicamp right here on Keek on the Mic. And the only thing I really want to tell you guys in today's video, and I think it's the only thing that matters, is that Justin Fields had himself a day. According to multiple reports, Justin Fields saved his best practice for last. They did mostly red zone situations today, going offense versus defense in the red zone. And according to multiple reports, he carved up the defense, delivering multiple pinpoint strikes with no glaring mistakes. Some of the tweets posted from media in attendance stated this: the Bears wrapped up their offseason program with one final practice for minicamp. It was Justin Fields' sharpest showing yet. He was dialed in for red zone drills. They'll pick up again late July for training camp. Minicamp Day 3 is in the books. We'll hear from Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus before the team breaks for the summer. Red zone emphasis today. Fields and the first team O had some good drives down there. Egonay St. Brown, TD, Robert Tonyan solid catch, today's highlights. Bears QB Justin Fields had his best passing day of the week. He was sharper in the red zone than he'd been in mandatory minicamp. Justin Fields had his sharpest practice of minicamp today, especially in the red zone. Bears fans, this is very positive news and a great way for Justin Fields to end mandatory minicamp and go into this little break before they come back in late July for the start of training camp, because it hasn't been all pretty for Justin Fields during this little 2-month process. In these early stages of practice, we still saw occasional issues from him in terms of holding on to the ball too long, seeing throws get tipped, even throwing interceptions and some pick sixes. But the best part about this is that even when Justin Fields made his mistakes, he took a step back, learned from mistakes, and came back even stronger. And that's what coaches, even teammates, were seeing from Justin Fields in these early stages of practice. But Bears fans, his work through OTAs and minicamp has been positive, and the positives have definitely outweighed the negatives for Justin Fields in these early practices. The most important part of all of this, Bears fans, is that Justin Fields showed plenty of growth these past 2 months in these early stages of Chicago Bears practice. He has shown us that he has, for one, more trust in his arm and making those tight window throws. If you watched tape last year, this is really good news, because last season he was hesitant to make those throws. And it caused him a lot of trouble. That's why he was holding on to the ball too long, because he didn't have trust in the receivers. So he's hesitant to throw those tight window throws. But now you can see in these early practices that Justin Fields has more trust in his arm and he's letting it loose. And that is a really good sign and maturity as a passer. It shows a lot of growth as a passer for Justin Fields. And even though sometimes making those tight window throws can lead to interceptions, I can live with that, because that means he has more trust in his arms, more trust in his receivers around him. And ultimately, that is going to make him a better player. It's going to help him grow as a passer, and it's going to make this Chicago Bears offense more lethal going into this new season. Another positive thing that we've seen from these early practices from Justin Fields is that he showed more of a willingness to take the check down when nothing is open deep. And this is also very good news for Justin Fields, because we all know Fields got himself into some trouble last season because Justin Fields was always looking to make the big play. If nothing was open deep, he would just take off and run. But there was also occurrences where there would be the check down open right away, but he would miss the check down, try to go deep, take off and run, and it caused him a lot of trouble. Sometimes it even lead into unnecessary sacks or unnecessary hits on Justin Fields. So this is obviously a positive update for Justin Fields. Once again, this shows maturity as a player, maturity as a passer, maturity as an overall football player, and that means he is going through his progressions so much faster. And that was really one of the knacks on Justin Fields, that he was holding on to the ball too long. But now you can tell in these early stages of practice that he is going through his progressions really fast and hitting those checkdowns. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hit Robert Tonyan for a 5-yard gain. Hit Cole Kmet for a 5-yard gain. Hit DJ Moore for a 5-yard slam. Maybe he takes it the distance. And the big thing I always like to say about that is that 5 + 5 is 10. 10 yards is a first down. So there's nothing wrong with dinking and doinking, and I'm really pleased to hear this positive update on Justin Fields, showing more of a willingness to take the check down throws. So overall, Bears fans, Justin Fields is progressing not only as a passer, but an overall player. This was a really positive way for him to end the mandatory minicamp for the Chicago Bears. And we all know that he will continue to remain relentless in his improvement as a player. So the next step for Justin Fields is training camp and putting on the pads and see what he can do in the pads. I'm super excited and I'm looking forward to it. When they come back for training camp, they will have some joint practices, I believe, with the Indianapolis Colts. So it'll be really good to see this offense and Justin Fields go against another team's defense and get different looks as well. And then we all know that we'll go into the preseason and then regular season, but preseason will also be a good litmus test for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense. But I'm looking forward to it. But once again, this is a really positive way for Justin Fields to end mandatory minicamp for the Chicago Bears. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.